Hello everyone, this is Venugopal. Today we are going to see the exception handling in Java, one of the very important concept in Java. Now we'll understand what exactly mean by exception handling. The exception handling in Java is one of the powerful mechanism to handle the runtime errors so that the normal flow of the application can be maintained. Now let us see practically exception handling. We'll create a new project for this. We'll give the project name as exception handling. Click on finish. Now under this exception handling, we'll create a new class. We'll give the package name exception. We'll give class name as exception handling main. We will include main method and click on finish. It has included the main method inside the exception handling class. Now let us define some statements like int array number equals to, suppose we will assign numbers 20, 30, and let us cause an exception. X equals to number I want to store 3, the number which is present at the location 3 or the index 3 I want to store in a X. Now there is no such a location is existed, that means this line is going to cause an exception. Okay, so here we will do one sysout. Suppose I want to print main method finished. Now save it and let us try to execute this program. We'll see what happens. Now observe the output. Exception in thread main java.lang.array index out of bound exception. It has raised one exception, means it's saying array index out of bound. Now let us go back to the program. Now see, this error is showing. I will run one more time. It's giving the exception. Now this entire stuff is called as a stack trace. That means you can easily get to know where on which line the error has caused. If I click on this, see, it's showing it's highlighting that line where the exception is caused. One more thing, the exception, after causing the exception, it is not going to execute the statements after that exceptions. So now we will see how to overcome these exceptions. Before that, let us do something like, if I want to get this code under some methods, what we will do, we will right click on this, go to refactor. There is one method, extract method. That means we want to call this particular code from another method. So for that we will put this all stuff into one method. If I do extract, method name we need to give here. For example, I am giving method number 1 and click on OK. Continue. Observe carefully, the entire stuff has been put inside one method number 1, and this method will be called from the main function. Am I getting? Suppose I will copy this line paste it over here. Now this one is method number 1 is finished kind of thing. Suppose we want one more method. Just we are doing this to understand how the calling stack is going to takes place. Suppose again if I'll refactor an extract method, what it is asking for the name, method number 2. Okay, continue. See, the method 2 has been created now, right? And it is been calling from method 1, and method 1 is calling from main function. Okay, I'll copy this and I will paste it over here, and here I will do method 2 is finished, just to understand how the exception is going to be handled by which method, right? We have created few methods. Now observe carefully. Main function, main method is calling method number 1, method 1 number is calling method number 2, right? Method number 2 will be executed, and at this line the exception is going to be happen. Okay, we will see how the stack trace is going to be printed. If I'll execute this one, observe carefully. Now see, this is the main method where line number 7 it has called the method number 1, then method number 1 is called a method number 2, and where the exception is caused. And what is that exception? That exception is nothing but java.lang. Array index out of bounds exception. Okay, now that means what? Here the exception is causing, right? And no method is going to be print here. No sysout is going to be printed over here. Why it is not printing? Because when main method calls method number 1, method number 1 will be called, then inside which method 2 is called, and it comes here, it will execute this line, and here the exception is caused. And the moment exception is caused, right, no mechanism is there to handle the exception, then what it will do, the compiler throw back this one to a calling method, and calling method is what? Method number 2. Again here we are not having the solution for that exception, then again this will throw the exception to a method number 1, and finally it will be goes to a main method, and finally it will print the call stack. That is what we have seen in the stack trace. If I'll execute one more time, this is called as a stack trace, how the exceptions are going to happen. The exception is what? The exception is what? Array index out of bound exception, that is showing, but no method number 1, not even method number 2, and not even method number main method is going to be handled it exception. Okay, so now we will try to see how to handle this exception and how these methods are going to be executed. These lines are going to be executed after handling the exception. So for that, we need to put this data inside the try and catch block. So how to do that? It's very simple. Try, opening curly brace, put the data inside this, and then close this try block, and we'll write a catch block. Inside this we'll have one class exception, and E is the object of exception class. Opening cursor and closing cursor. Now what happened? Now this try block is going to be throw one exception, and thus exception should be catch inside this catch block, and we need to give a proper message. What kind of exception is going to it's generating? For example, if I'll do like this, e dot, there are number of methods are there, out of which we will take one print stack trace method, which is a throwable method. Okay, what it will do? It will print the stack trace of this exception. What is the exception it is going to return from this try block, it will be cached over here, and by using that object, using this method print stack trace, we are going to handle that particular exception. Okay, now let us see the execution. Now observe carefully. Now there is an exception. Yeah, actually earlier window is showing some different error because of one extra closing braces was there. Now if I execute one more time, now this will give. Now see, observe carefully. These all three were the previous exception that we have already seen in the last execution. But despite of this, see, the method number 1 is finished is executing, and main method is finished is executing. Earlier these two statements were not printing because the exception is not going to be handled at that moment. But due to this now try and catch block, right, the exception is generated in this try block. Okay, now it will catch into this particular thing, right, and it is printing print stack trace, means it will print all the probable exceptions which is caused here by the try block. Okay, now this exception is itself, it is a class. Okay, to check that you can press Ctrl and click on this. See, this is present in java.lang package. Okay, this exception is a super class. It's a super class of all the exception that we will see in the coming this video. Now after this handling this exception, what happened? This is not throwing back to this particular method. Okay, that is the reason why the previous method's execution is completing, and it is printing what? Method number 1 is finished first, then the cursor will go back to the main method, and it is printing main method finished. So this is the way how we are going to handle the exception. Now this exception is a generic exceptions. Now if you know the specific exception, what kind of exception it is going to be executed, then you can give a specific execution over here. How to do that? Let us check first of all what this general exception is going to print the error that we will see. See, that is the array index out of bound exception. If you know the specific exception, then you can also do like this. If I want to take one more catch block, and suppose I know what kind of error it is giving, so I will type array index out of bounds exception. Okay, and if you know the exception, proper exception, then you can write down here sys out control space. What is the error? Array index out of bounds exceptions is occurred. If you know the specific one, then you can give a specific error exception. Okay, now suppose if I'll execute, now what happened? Now this exception is not going to execute because you have already given the specific one, array index out of bounds exception. So what happened? That the whatever the exception is going to produce, okay, and if it is there in your catch block, then it will match with this particular exception and it will execute only that exception. We will execute this one. Now observe carefully, array index out of bound exception is occurred. It is not giving the general exceptions. Okay, in the earlier one you have seen like 3 red lines, okay, on which line the exception has caused. Okay, so if you know the specific one, then you can also give the specific one. Now this array index out of bound exception is a subclass. It is a subclass of your index out of bound exception, okay, which is again a subclass of runtime exception, and this runtime exception is again a subclass of exception. So this is what? This is a superclass. So this exception is a superclass of all the exceptions. So now we'll go back to our code. Now suppose we will hide this code. Let us try for another exception. Suppose here I'll define one string name equals to null. There are number of exceptions are there, out of which we are seeing few of them. Now if I'll do like this, name dot length. Okay, so now this line will cause a exception. Why? Because nothing we have assigned to this name variable. Okay, so what exception it is going to throw? Now it here in this program we are having two catch block. One is array index bounds exception. Naturally it is not going to be executed because no such kind of exception is going to be happen here. So it will come down to this generic exception and it will throw the exception. Okay, and it will print all the stack trace. Let us see. Control S. If we execute this, now observe it's showing null pointer exception. Java.lang means this is the package where this null pointer exception is there, and other three, these all are the stack trace on which line the exception is caused. The remaining are as it is. That means what? The array index out of bound is not executed, it is executing this one. Now if you know the specific one again, and suppose here if you add one more catch block, Control V, and now we know the exception name. Exception name is what? Null pointer exception. And here instead of this we will print null pointer exception is occurred. Now what happened? The exception will be generated in this try block. Okay, and what it will do? It will check for the matched exception. Now it will be matched with what? Null pointer exception. So that is the reason why it will execute this statement. Even though you can add like this also, e dot print stack trace, save it, execute it. Now you will find, sorry, something is missed. Oh, by mistaken S is typed. If I'll execute this one, see the null pointer exception is occurred. This is from this line, and then we have executed this one. So it will show the exactly where it is located. It will show the package java.lang. Null pointer exception, and the remaining stuff is as it is. Now I hope you are understanding how the exceptions are throwing and how the exception should be catched by using a appropriate message. Now in this scenario you might have observed this line is not executing, because what happened? The exception is generating over here. Now immediately it will jump to catch block, the exception will be resolved, and from this the cursor will be moving to the calling method. This method number 2 is calling from method 1, and this method 1 is calling from main, and the program is going to be terminated. So what about this statement? If I want to print this statement, what to do? If you are supposed to print this statement in any case, whether the exception is occurred or whether the exception is not occurred, but you want this line, then we can do that also by using a finally keyword. So what we will do, we will cut this one, and suppose here I will write finally block. Inside this I will paste method 2 is finished now. Okay, let me check whether it is executing or not. sorry, let me check. Oh, sorry, syntactically I should not put this finally in between the catch statements. Okay, so I will cut from here, and after finishing of all the catch statement I can put here finally. Then what happened now? Now exception will be caused here. What kind of exception? It's a null pointer exception. It will go here and print it out, this statement, right? After that it will print the package description, and from here it's not going to execute this one. It comes to the finally block and it will print the method 2 is finished. Now let me check. If I'll execute this, now observe, null pointer exception is occurred first, then this is printing by this statement e.print stack trace, and after that exception details, and then method 2 is finished, then method 1 is finished, and main method is finished. It will print all the lines. That means if you want to print any statement compulsorily without any exception is caused or not, then you must include that code inside the finally block. I hope you have understood. Now in our coming videos we will check for more exceptions. The exceptions are classified into two exceptions. One is checked exception, one is non-checked exceptions. That we will see in the next video. Until then, bye bye.